Hello everyone, welcome to Get Academy. Okay, just give me the fundamental elements of steam power plant.
So also I can see they're reading books and theorem habits. So can you please tell us what piece of literature you last or what you are reading right now?
It will be a circumferential stress or radial stress because if there will be pressure on anything, or you can say the effect due to the effect of temperature. Okay. हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू गेट एकेडमी। मैं हूं गोपाल शर्मा और मेरे साथ है वरुण सर। हेलो वरुण सर।
हेलो वेणु सर, कैसे हैं आप?
मैं बढ़िया हूँ सर। आई होप आप भी बहुत अच्छे होंगे। तो बच्चों, जैसा कि आप जानते हो कि गेट एकेडमी की जो हमारी टीम एक्सट्रीम है, ये हमारे जितने भी मैकेनिकल के जितने स्टूडेंट्स रहे हैं गेट एकेडमी से जुड़े हुए थ्रू एनी मोड लाइक पेन ड्राइव कोर्स, जी ड्राइव कोर्स, वीओडी और लाइव क्लासरूम प्रोग्राम, उनके जो भी रैंक होल्डर्स हैं उनसे हम लोग अभी बातें कर रहे हैं। ठीक है, उनसे टेक्निकल कंटेंट पे डिस्कशन किया जा रहा है थ्रू मॉक इंटरव्यूज, क्योंकि हमको पता है कि आने वाले समय में जब वो पीएसयूज एक्सेट्रा के लिए फाइट करेंगे तो उनको इंटरव्यू फेस करना पड़ेगा। तो उनको किन किन बातों का ख्याल रखना है, और खासकर जो स्टूडेंट्स और भी हैं जो आगे फ्यूचर में गेट वगैरह का प्लान कर रहे हैं या किसी दूसरी जगह इंटरव्यू देने वाले, उनको भी किन चीजों का ख्याल रखना चाहिए, ये एक ओवरऑल पूरे मैकेनिकल के स्टूडेंट्स को हमारी टीम गाइड कर पाए, इस चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए ये मॉक इंटरव्यूज रखे गए हैं। तो आज हमारे साथ है राजन देवांगन। हेलो बेटा राजन, कैसे हो?
हेलो सर, मैं अच्छा हूँ।
और आपकी अभी तैयारियां कैसी चल रही है? आगे का क्या सोच रहे हो अभी आप कि क्या करना है आगे?
सर गेट के बाद से यही था माइंड में कि अभी पीएसयू में अप्लाई करना है, अच्छे टॉप के पीएसयूज में रिक्रूट होना है, और साथ ही साथ सर ईएससी एग्जाम की भी प्रिपरेशन कर रहा हूँ।
ओके, ईएससी की प्रिपरेशन भी कर रहे हैं आप। तो अभी आपको पता है कि आपका कुछ ही देर में हम लोग मॉक इंटरव्यू स्टार्ट करेंगे, तो आप मेंटली प्रिपेयर है इसके लिए?
यस सर।
ठीक है, तो फिर स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो सबसे पहले आप अपने आप को एक बार इंट्रोड्यूस कर दीजिए।
हेलो ऑल, आई एम राजन देवांगन. I am a mechanical engineering graduate from IIT Bombay. I chose this field of work because I have always been interested in problem solving, in teamwork, and advanced technical skills that are required to understand the working of machines. I have a good ground in physics and mathematics. I am also passionate about weightlifting, creative writing, and cooking.
Okay, so you like weightlifting. It's
Yes,
your
sir.
hobby? So you're a fitness freak kind of person.
Sir, in college years, I was very much passionate about this, and after college, also I'm also like fitness. You can say, like, I am always oriented towards fitness.
Okay. So what is your field of interest? Like, in which what are the various technical subjects which you like?
Sir, I love thermodynamics, strength of materials, engineering mechanics, mathematics.
Okay.
Yeah. And heat transfer also.
Okay, so basically you have interest in design subjects like SOM, engineering mechanics,
Yes,
and in thermal part also. Okay, so if you will be selected, okay, in the job, okay, there are a number of jobs you are being selected. So some are from power plants, thermal power plants, and some are like fabrication plant, or there are automobile sectors where you have to design automobiles. Okay, so what will be your preference in that condition?
So it's going to be more towards thermal design, thermal working, and yeah.
Okay, so you will prefer working in a power plant?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can I ask questions from power plant engineering?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just tell me, what is a high pressure boiler or a low pressure boiler?
So high pressure boiler works with high steam pressures. They're generally more than 30 atm pressures, and low pressure boiler works in low steam pressures.
Any certain specific range? 30 atmospheric pressure?
Yes, sir, as far as I can remember.
Okay,
but I'm not sure, sir, about the range.
Okay, you're not sure about the range.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me the fundamental elements of steam power plant.
So in steam power plants, there is a boiler, first of all, which is fed water, and it converts it into steam, and the steam is then fed to a turbine. So that the steam energy is converted into a rotational mechanical energy in turbine, and thus we get the power output. And from turbine it goes to the condenser. So condenser is another part. Condenser contains heat exchangers. Mostly it is recuperative heat exchanger in most of the power plants. Then there is a pump, where from the condenser outlet, the pump pumps the water to the boiler.
Okay, what is the use of pump? Actually, pump is a work consuming device, right? It consumes
Yes,
work. So
Yes,
we are producing power, right? So what is the fundamental use of a pump in the power plant in this cycle, which you have told me?
Yes, sir. So pump is required to feed the boiler with water at higher pressure than what is coming out of the condenser. So yeah, so its main use is to pressurize the water and feed it to the boiler at boiler pressure.
Okay, at boiler pressure. Okay, so the output of the turbine, okay, may be wet, it may be dry, okay, it may be a wet
Yes,
vapor,
sir.
it may be dry vapor. Generally, it will be a wet vapor, right? So why can't we directly, feed the wet vapor into the boiler? Why we need condenser? As boiler is going to again convert the vapors, the same vapor, after the turbine, there will be condenser. Okay, we use condenser over there, and it will liquefy the steam, right? And then we are going to pump it all the way to the boiler, and again it is going to be converted into vapor. So ultimately, it is going to be converted into vapor. So why don't we just insert the output of turbine directly into the boiler, and maybe it will be reducing the fuel consumption for converting the liquid into vapor. What is the reason of using that condenser over there?
Sir, so the actually boiler works at a particular pressure, and the output from the turbine has to be at condenser pressure level, which is generally atmospheric pressure and atmospheric temperature, and that at that condition we cannot directly feed that to the boiler, because the
Okay,
pressure at which boiler works is a little higher than that.
okay,
So I don't think the turbine output can be directly connected to the boiler input.
okay. So if if it is going through the pump, that means turbine, then it is going to pump. Then pump will be going to pressurize that output of turbine, and then it will be transferred to the boiler at the boiler pressure. So will it be any problem?
So condenser has to be there
Why?
in between. Sir, so sir, from turbine output contains wet vapor, and so there is some vapor, and then there is some liquid part of water. So that cannot be directly fed to the pump, because pump is very efficient in case of liquid. It cannot pump vapor, steam vapor. So we have to completely convert the wet vapor into saturated vapor, saturated liquid,
Okay,
and then that can be used in the pump.
okay, sir. Varun, sir.
Yeah. So, Rajan, I would like to continue on this question.
Yes, sir.
So, you said that we have to convert it into liquid phase, right?
Yes, sir.
So, is it specific that we have to convert it into liquid phase, or are you conforming it with Kelvin Planck statement? I mean, while I was listening your answer, I was wondering why you are not correlating it with the Kelvin Planck statement for second law.
So as far as I am able to think right now, pump only works with liquids. So the turbine output has to be converted uh, into completely into liquid. So and that's how it will work properly.
Can you correlate this with the Kelvin Planck statement? as to why condenser is to be used.
Yes, sir. I would
Got it?
like to take a
Where I'm
minute
going?
to think about it.
Yeah.
Sure, no problem. Take your time.
Okay. So uh, in condenser, we have the working fluid at lower temperature, and now we have to feed it to the boiler which is at higher temperature, where the heat will be added. In condenser, heat is rejected. So we can think of it as there are two reservoirs, at one at higher temperature and one at lower temperatures. So for a working fluid to take it to from lower temperature to higher temperature, there has to be some work input needed according to a work Kelvin Planck statement. So yeah, so we can say that the pump needs to be required in there.
Good, good. Now, just going on, continuing our conversation, can you please tell me that why we need less latent heat of vaporization when we move at higher pressures? You might have seen that shape of the dome, no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
why
sir.
do we need lesser latent heat of vaporization at higher pressures?
So from looking at that dome, we can easily say that at higher pressures, the length of the wet vapor line is starts decreasing,
Gap is
and it
decreasing, yeah.
becomes, yeah, gap is decreasing, and it becomes zero at the critical point. So it is clear that the heat of vaporization that is needed to convert liquid to saturated liquid to saturated vapor becomes decreasing. So yeah,
My question is why?
why? Okay. So I'm not able to think of the
No
answer.
issues, no issues. Sir, please.
Okay, so sir, we have asked question regarding the power plant. You are also interested in strength of material, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us talk about a condition of shell and tube type heat exchangers. Okay, shell and tube type heat exchangers. Can you tell me a part of strength of material, okay, that will be useful for design of the shell and tube type heat exchanger? What concept will be very useful for designing a shell and tube type heat exchanger whose tubes are fixed tube heat exchanger actually? Fixed tube, shell and tube type heat exchanger. So what portion of strength of material will be helpful?
Sir, one part that I can think of is thermal expansivity. The coefficient of thermal expansion will part, where with increase in temperature, how there is a strain that is forming in the how thermal stresses are generating in the material, in the pipe material. So that portion can be definitely applied to design the tubes in shell and tube heat exchanger. Yeah.
Okay. So if the temperature of shell and tube type in tube shell and tube type heat exchanger, if the average temperature is, you can say, higher temperature, okay, it is the average temperature of operation is high. So in that situation, what type of failure will take place in the pipe? What types of failure will take place in pipe?
So there will be inside the pipes. There is sometimes very hot fluid, or sometimes steam also is passed. Where steam sometimes it has high pressure. So due to high pressure and high temperature, steam the pipe can rupture from some points because of excessive pressure or material failure at some points.
Okay.
Yeah. So the type of failure is rupture failure. Yeah.
That is due to compression.
No, sir. That is due to excessive pressure from inside. So it has to be like the inside pressure wants to expand the tube. So the pipe will rupture because of tensile stress.
Okay. Okay. But if you look into the power plant part, okay, in power
Yes, sir.
plant, you will see that we try to maintain vacuum. Okay, we try to maintain vacuum in condenser, right?
Yes, sir.
So that vacuum will be on which side of the shell and tube type heat exchange? If you use a condenser, okay, which is of shell and tube type. So for that, the vacuum will be on which side? It will be on the shell side or on the tube side?
No idea, sir.
So in what situation you will see that there will be pressurized fluid in the pipe? Pressurized fluid.
Sir, at turbine output, there will be steam. Steam will be coming out. So
I think the turbine output will be having low pressure. As
yes,
the
sir.
turbine
Yes, sir.
expansion process will be there, so the pressure must be low, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So this problem, that the rupturing of tube due to excessive pressure, will be there or not, as far as you can see?
No, sir. Because of low pressure, no, I don't think.
Okay, so in the pressure, where you will see the high pressure fluids?
So the fluid that is being used to absorb the latent heat of turbine output to converting to the saturated liquid. So the latent heat that will be generated and that will be absorbed to the working fluid that is being circulated in the pipe, in the tubes, in the shell part. So that liquid. Okay.
Oh, you are getting confused. Just be calm.
Yeah.
Okay, no need to panic. Just take a deep breath and think. Okay, be calm.
Yes, sir. The liquid that we will circulate to absorb the heat of the latent heat from the turbine output to the pump. So the liquid that will be absorbing that heat, that will be converting into, and that is mostly water, cold water that is circulated. So it will come out as heated water or steam. So that part is going to experience high pressure.
Okay, other than that, this is the only thing which the tubes will experience, or some other stresses will also be acting? This is subjected to high temperature. This is subjected to high temperature. Okay, temperature is high at that condition. You will see that there will be thermal expansion. So
Yes,
during that expansion, what type of stress these tube will experience?
so during thermal expansion, sir, there will be longitudinal thermal stress that will be generated,
Nature,
as well as
tensile or compressive?
so the tube material will want to expand, and due to thermal stresses, it will want to expand, but the material itself will try to contract. So
You sure?
So since the pipes are not fixed.
I have told you that this is a fixed tube heat exchanger.
Okay.
I just told you it is a fixed tube heat exchanger. So the tubes are fixed from both the ends. Okay, there will be a disc. Okay, a perforated disc will be there through which the tubes are inserted in the shell side, and then they are fixed to the that disc. Okay, so the pipes are not allowed to move in the longitudinal direction, and also in between then there will be baffles, right, to support the tubes.
Yes, sir.
So if the temperature is very high, so what type of stresses the tube will experience?
So longitudinally compressive stress will be generated, and and if the baffles are used to support the tubes in during in between the length, then there might be circumferential stresses that also can be generated because of baffles, because they will try to support it, and tube will want to expand circumferentially also. So through that, circumferential stresses might also get generated.
Okay, so it will be circumferential stress, radial stress. It is going to expand in radial direction.
Can you repeat?
You are applying. It will be a circumferential stress or radial stress, because because if there will be pressure on anything, or you can say the effect due to the effect of temperature. Okay, the radius will also increase. Okay, so the circumference will also increase. So strain will be in both the direction. You can say the circumference is increasing as well as the radius is increasing. So stress will be acting in which direction if you are talking about that?
So I think in both the directions, in radial direction also, circumferential direction also.
Okay.
Because
it will be having a huge significance, or it will be negligible.
Yes, sir. So this kind of tubes which contain heated fluids, so the thickness are generally higher for this kind of tubes, so that not much heat goes out from the tubes. So due to high thickness of the tubes.
Wait a minute. You just said that thickness of tube should be high so that heat will not go from out to outside, right? And you were talking about a heat exchanger.
Yeah. No, sir, no.
Okay,
thickness should not be much large. Okay, because we want heat transfer to take place. So thickness should not be much large. It should be, yeah.
Okay. Just leave it over here. Okay, so you have done your project in computational study of microstructure evolution during solidification in single crystal. So
sir,
it is related to.
Yes. I wanted to say this part I have not prepared. This particular BTP project part.
Okay, you are not prepared for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and what is this? You have done many projects, I can see. So you are not prepared for any discussion on these topics?
No, sir. The rest of the projects I have prepared for that.
Okay, sound-based electronic repulting device.
Yes, sir.
You are aware of everything about this. And laser cladding.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is the full form of laser?
So light absorption. R I am not able to remember. E means emission.
Okay, it is. Okay.
Like completely, I'm not able to remember.
Okay, no. Okay, Varun sir.
Yeah. So.
Hello, Varun sir.
हाँ, मेरी आवाज आ रही है ना? Now, Rajan, as you were saying that, and you have also mentioned it in your resume, that you are interested, your hobbies are creative writing, right?
Yes, sir.
So, anything of particular interest that you may tell us, that you like to write about some topics?
Yes, sir.
And
sir, I like to talk. Sir, I'm basically an epigrammist. So basically, what I do is I have an idea, or sometimes I have an idea and I like to write it in concise way and in as simple and clever way as possible. So that's how I write. So that is the most dominant part of my creative writing process.
Can you please tell us as to what recent you wrote, your recent work?
Yes, sir. So the most recent piece of writing that I've done is it's not about having confidence. It's about committing to your confidence. That matters the most. So this I wrote, and one other one that I wrote is that only if you learn to respect, you learn to love. So this was these are the two recent topics that I've written on.
Okay. So what motivates you to write these things?
So there is no particular motivation, some particular thing that motivates me. It's just I just feel something like when I have to write, there is no particular time that I start writing. It just I just start feeling that there is something that needs to come out of me. So I just try to give it a form through any kind of subject that I feel to write about. So it is not that the subject that I want to write about, it's the feeling that I want to give form in terms of a subject. So that's how I
So yeah,
write.
okay. You give words to your feelings. That's what you are
Yes,
saying,
sir.
right?
That we can say.
Okay, great. That's great. So as also I can see you have written reading books and thriller
Yes, sir.
novels. So
Yes, sir.
can you please tell us what piece of literature you last read, or what you are reading right now?
So right now I'm reading two books simultaneously. Alternately, we can say that will be most appropriate. So the one book is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy,
Ah,
and the
okay,
other one is Dohavali of Tulsidas.
okay, okay,
Yes,
okay, okay. So I mean, in literature as well, I believe that you write self-improvement books are good for you, right?
yes, sir.
Self-improvement books you like the most. Great.
Yes,
So you might have read about this fellow Robin Sharma also.
yes, sir. The Who Will
Okay,
Cry When You
great, great.
Die. That one, that book.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
The Man Who
So
Sold His
can you
Ferrari.
quote? Okay. So can you quote something from that book which relates to your life?
So I cannot like there are some like many things that I've learned from the book. So that I can say like uh, one of the most important things that I have learned from the book is to wake up early in the morning. And what is the impact of your first hour of your day has on your overall day. So
Okay.
those things I learned about in the book. So in that the author told that the first hour what you do after waking up, that mostly defines what you are going to do in the um, rest of the hours of your day. And how to manage that first hour, how to divide that time and make the best out of it, so that you make the best out of your whole day. So that is one thing
Okay.
that I have
Great.
learned.
Sir,
Yeah, and
I want to ask
one,
something.
Yeah.
Um, this concept is given, discuss. This idea is the whole idea is belongs to which book of Robin Sharma? Who will cry when you die?
sir, actually there are many multiple chapters.
No,
सर आपकी आवाज थोड़ी
this is
कट रही है.
actually I was asking about the concept of waking up early and managing whole the day. This thing, this particular chapter or whatever it is, you can call it an idea or thought, belongs to which novel of Robin Sharma?
Sir, that The Man Who Sold His Ferrari, in which he has many multiple chapters,
I
like
think
50,
it
60
is
chapters.
from the 5 a.m. Club. This concept is in the book The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. I think because I too have interest in literature, so that I can recall that this is not from The Man Who Sold His Ferrari. The
No,
monk.
sir.
No.
Actually, in The Man Who Sold His Ferrari, he has written multiple chapters, like this
Okay.
idea. So there is one chapter he has written that, like, there are only 2 pages on that, but he has told that this first star is very impactful and you should do this in very brief and concise way. Yeah,
Okay.
in 5 a.m. Club he has elaborated that. I have not read that book,
Okay. That is
but
also a good book. Varun sir.
So yeah, as I was asking you this, continuing on the same topic. So can you say? I mean, can you tell us that which author or which writer is in? You can read his books all day long. I mean, whose writing style is you find very beautiful?
Dan Brown.
Dan Brown. Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So, which books of Dan Brown have you read?
So there, I like the way he writes the thriller and makes things like how he turns around the stories in every page he turns something around. So that is very interesting for me. So the books I've read is Da Vinci Code, Digital Fortress, Angels and Demons, and The Lost Key.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you find very interesting, like thriller novels, huh?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
someday
sir.
you
Very much.
plan on writing one.
Sir,
Someday you plan on writing one.
so I might write a thriller one, but the more I am oriented towards is has self-help book consisting of only my part of life, only complete reality towards my life that I want to share with the world someday.
Great. So
Okay. So this was about your interest in literature. So you are more interested in English literature, not Hindi literature. Is it like that?
Yes, sir. You can say that. I read mostly English literature books.
Okay. So your interest is also constrained with in self improvement kind of literature.
No, sir. I used to read a lot that during my last year of college because I thought that I needed some self help. I need to learn some self improvement tips and tricks, how to improve my day to day life, how to be a visionary, how to learn things, how to become better in life. But after
Okay.
that, I became oriented towards thriller novels and read Dan Brown quite much.
Okay, here I can see you have a lot of sports activities. You have won 2 golds, 2 silver medal at junior district level weightlifting championship. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so what is the what is the format of this type of competitions?
Sir, there is two categories in which we compete, in weightlifters compete. So the first category is snatch that we say. So in that there is weight in there, 20 kg rod, and weights are there in that, and you have to have a big grip. If this much is the rod, you have to grip almost here, and then you have to just through the pull and push, you have to take it overhead. So in one
Okay,
go, in one movement, that is called snatch. And the other technique is clean and jerk technique, in which there is a shorter
like
grip.
like
Yes,
this.
sir. You have to first keep it to the shoulder and get up, and then you have to jerk it up. So that is clean and jerk. So in these two formats, the competition happens, and the total of snatch and clean and jerk, the most the person lifts in both of them combined, the person wins. So that's how the ranking is decided.
Okay, so let me ask you a technical question from this sport. Okay, so once you have lifted the weight, let us say whatever weight is there, 40 kg on this side, 40 kg on this side, and the weight of rod you said it was 20 kg, right? This was the weight of rod. So assume that you have lifted 80 kg of load. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
what type this rod right now is acting like which type of beam?
So this beam is acting like the where my hands are there. That will be acting like a simply supported part, and there is already uniformly distributed load. Not uniformly, there is slightly more distribution of weight towards the end of the rod, and slightly lower in the middle part of the rod. So there will be uniformly distributed in different parts, different, uniform distributed, and there will be loads. Due to loads, we can almost assume a concentrated load towards the where the plates are hanging.
Okay, so what type of beam is this exactly? Can you name it? Okay, this is this beam. There are a variety of beams are there. So what you can call it?
Simply supported beam. No, I cannot say that because it is not supported at the ends. So I'm not sure, but I think it can be called as continuous beam.
You have only 2 hands. Okay, you don't have 3 or 4 hands. It can't be a continuous beam. It is actually a overhang beam. Okay,
Okay.
it is
Yeah.
overhang beam.
Okay.
It is overhang beam. Okay, so if it is a so now you are clear. It is overhang beam. Okay, so can you tell me can you draw the shear force diagram for this? Just neglect the self weight of the rod. Neglecting the self weight of the rod. and considering the weight on either sides, left or right side, okay, as concentrated loads. Okay, draw the shear force diagram and the bending moment diagram also.
Okay, sir. So I'm assuming that both weights on both sides are equal.
Yeah, that will be equal.
So this is the shear force diagram. This.
Let me see. Your sign conventions are left to right, downward, negative.
Yes, sir. From the left, if the load is coming to the downward, then it is negative.
Okay, show me. Okay. Okay, good. What is there any miscellaneous part in the right side? Okay. Okay.
No,
okay,
sir.
okay.
I just dropped it. Yeah. So that.
Okay. So and what about the bending moment diagram?
I'm just drawing that, sir.
Done.
Just a second, sir. Little bit confused. Okay. Yes, sir. This last one.
Okay. Okay. So the entire bending moment diagram is on which side? Negative side.
Negative side.
Okay. So what is the significance of this? What it signifies? The negative bending moment diagram?
Hogging.
Hogging. Okay.
The band.
So Okay. So is there any pure bending situation or not?
So in pure bending is considered when there is a uniform cross section, and here there is not. Here, yeah, because here pure bending cannot be considered.
Why?
Because the reaction, the weights that are the where the plates are acting, there the rod's thickness is more, rod's diameter is more, and where my
Okay.
hands will be there, there the rod's diameter will be lesser. So
Okay.
here we cannot consider throughout the beam. Throughout, if I consider the whole length of the beam, we cannot consider pure bending moment. But inside the where the diameter is lesser, at that part we can consider it as pure bending.
So the region where you can see the pure bending situation. Okay. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
mark it on the diagram
Yes, sir.
which you have made?
So this part.
Okay, that means between the supports.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
So it's not going to be actually in, between the supports, because my hands are generally not at the end of the shorter diameter rod. So there will be some gap will be there.
Yeah, so your hands are supports. So between support we can say, right?
Yes, sir. Between actual supports, between actually where the diameter is changing between in the rod. So between that part, you can say.
Okay. So here, okay, here if the weight of two rods are same, okay, for the rod for the barbells, okay. So the bar is here. The bar is a solid bar, right? Generally, we see a solid bar. So what if we use a hollow bar, okay, with same weight? The weight is going to be same, okay. Just forget that a person has to carry. So for a person, there is a particular diameter. You cannot have any diameter. Okay. So just forget it. I'm just asking about the capacity of the rod. Okay. So don't consider that a human has to rise it up. So I'm saying the weight of the bars are same, but okay, but one is solid, one is hollow. Okay, which will be more resistant to bending, and the material is also same.
So for the same weight, the hollow bar will have more resistance towards bending.
Okay.
Because its section modulus will be higher.
Okay. Varun sir.
Yeah. So you are more into fitness, right?
So what?
So you're more into fitness. You're a fitness freak kind of a guy, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you please tell me what is the mechanism of muscle growth?
Yes, sir.
How to attain muscular hypertrophy?
Yes, sir. So actually, sir, first of all, there is a normal body. Let us consider a normal body which has not done any workout right now, and now during the workout, the body continuously stretches and contracts during the workout. So some muscles get ruptured, and that is what is desired in a particular workout, so that the muscles rupture and later on it grows. It grows back and it grows stronger if taken proper nutrition. So first of all, during the workout, there will be muscle rupture due to workout. That is what is intended. And so here, sir, there are some particular cases. If a person does a workout which is lower than a optimal desired level of workout for that particular body, then then after that workout, his muscles won't grow. His muscles just grow to the normal limit at which it was initially was, and he will be a normal without much increase in strength. But there is a point that is known as supercompensation point. If the person workouts harder than a particular his average level, then he will reach to a particular supercompensation stage where after the recovery, after he has done the workout and he has taken proper nutrition, then this supercompensation particular biomechanism comes into play, and given proper rest is also very important for muscle growth. So rest is as important as workout, as well as nutrition. So after given proper rest, his muscles will grow stronger than he was before. So if he does super compensation style of workout, like a limit more, like crossing his limits while working out. So if he hits super compensation stage every time, or most of the time, after, like, for example, he does five days a week workout. So if he does at least 3 days, 3 or 4 days workout, and he does super compensation and gives himself time to recover, he will get stronger. If he is not reaching his limits and he's just doing basic fitness level, then he will stay at that strength level. Maybe his blood circulation will improve because of workout, but his physical strength won't increase. So this is how it's there. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it a reversible process or irreversible process in terms of thermodynamics?
So this whole process of growth and this whole, what I need to consider in this?
I mean, considering the definition only of reversible and irreversible, let me give you a case, special case. Suppose I go to the gym
Yes,
and
sir.
I went to gym, and when lockdown was imposed, I was not able to go, right? Then my body will naturally return to the state where I started. Or I should say that I have to start from the zero once again, right?
Yeah.
So, considering this fact in mind, is this process, attaining muscular hypertrophy, a reversible process or an irreversible process?
Okay. So it is like it cannot be called reversible process because it is not an ideal situation. It has to be irreversible. There is some loss of energy. There is some entropy generation will definitely will be there, because our human body is also a kind of machine that is not perfectly efficient. So I think it's going to be irreversible process.
Okay, you're calling it as an irreversible process. Great. Can you
Yes.
just give me an example of entropy generation in the body while working out?
So breathing.
Okay. Anything else?
So blood circulation. So any kind of process that is there is going to be irreversible. That's going on inside the body.
Would you consider cramps also?
Yes, sir.
Can you please tell me why cramps, we experience cramps
Uh,
while heavy workout?
so why cramps occur? That is the question. So cramps occur because of improper warm up before the main workout, and that happens biologically. We can say that happens because some part of the body gets some muscle fibers get entangled with each other at some part of the body, due to which blood circulation gets disrupted. Due to that, due to that cramp occur basically.
Some breakdown of glucose, improper breakdown of glucose into pyruvate and something is there, and lactic acid formation.
So lactic acid formation increases because the blood circulation stops at some part. So oxygen deficient part that part becomes oxygen deficient. So whenever in the body there is oxygen deficiency, body starts releasing lactic acid. So yeah, the cramps form. Cramps lead to increase in lactic acid formation.
Good, sir.
Okay, so in muscle building,
सर आवाज सही नहीं आ रही है.
आवाज काफी कट रही है.
Can you tell me if I talk about the ratio of these. Okay.
सर आवाज बहुत कट रही है.
Hello. Right.
आवाज बहुत कट रही है.
अभी ठीक आ रही है आवाज?
कट रही है सर.
Maybe there is some network issue. तो अभी कैसे चल रहा है? अभी जिम तो कैसे जा रहे होंगे आप? हाँ, वर्कआउट कैसे घर पे ही करते हैं?
मे बी. अभी आ रही है आवाज ठीक से राजन?
आवाज आ रही है, वीडियो नहीं आ रहा, आवाज भी कट के आ रही है. चलिए सर नहीं आते तब तक अपन बात करते हैं.
सर तो
ठीक है.
नॉर्मल जिम जाके सिर्फ वेट ट्रेनिंग करते हैं या फिर क्या?
सर वेट ट्रेनिंग तो नहीं कर रहा अभी मैं. अभी आई एम मोस्टली ओरिएंटेड टुवर्ड्स योगिक एक्सरसाइजेस एंड मेडिटेशन. सो शाम के टाइम पे यस सर. सो रूटीन ऐसा है अभी, ऐसा कि शाम के टाइम पे पूरी फैमिली हम साथ में बैठते हैं एंड 6 to 6:30 वी डू मेडिटेशन एंड मंत्र उच्चारण. सो that is pretty much the routine.
चलिए ये बहुत अच्छा. You should do the breathing exercises more. That's good. Sir is there. He was asking the question. उतना part pause कर दीजिएगा technical team. है ना?
Yes.
Sir.
Am I audible right now?
Yes sir.
Okay. So I was asking that what will be the Poisson ratio for these human tissues, muscles?
So Poisson's ratio for human tissue is greater than 1.
Greater than 1?
Yes sir.
Okay. No, it is actually negative. It is negative Poisson ratio, oxalic material. It is an oxalic material. It will be having negative Poisson ratio. Okay, can you define stress?
So actually, sir, I just was not able to remember it correctly. So same as human tissue, there is paper also. Like
paper.
Negative Poisson ratio. I think I have studied somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. Just define stress.
So whenever there is an external load that is acting on a body, so there is an internal resisting force per unit area that gets generated inside the body is known as stress.
Okay, so stress is vector, scalar. What kind of quantity is this?
So stress is tensor.
Okay, so tensor is a separate type of quantity.
I'm not sure, sir. I think it's tensor. I think it's a different quantity.
Okay, so when we were in school, okay, and the first time we came across physics, and there was a chapter types of quantities was there. So we just the school teachers, school books have just told me that there are two types of quantities, vector and scalar. So they were basically fooling on us. They must tell us there is tensor also, right?
So I think
if tensor,
I think stress is vector quantity. Tensor is just a way to represent vector quantities in different directions.
Okay. So you don't know much about tensor, so leaving on that. So stress is a tensor. So what is the order of this tensor?
3/3.
That means first order, second order, third order, fourth order.
Third order. I'm not sure.
Okay, you're not sure. Okay. Other than strength of material and thermodynamics and heat transfer, you are also interested in fluid mechanics, engineering mechanics?
So fluid mechanics I like, but I'm not prepared much in turbo machinery part. So
okay. And engineering mechanics, you are comfortable with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just tell me, can we draw shear force and bending moment diagram for a rigid body? If there is a cantilever beam, let us say, subjected to uniformly varying load, UVL is there. Okay, zero intensity to the maximum intensity at the fixed end. So can we draw shear force and bending diagram for this beam, canted beam, but it is made up of rigid material?
So its loading is uniformly varying.
Varying. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the material is rigid.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can draw shear force diagram, and yes, so we can draw bending moment diagram also.
Okay. What is basically a rigid body?
So rigid body is a body which experiences stress as normal bodies, but there is no strain in that body developed because of the stress.
Okay. Just assume a circular disc. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is moving over a surface. What is pure rolling situation? Can you explain?
Okay. So pure rolling situation is the situation where there is no slippage, and the friction is the main driver of the rotational motion.
Okay, so even in pure rolling situation, what will be the velocity at the point of contact?
Zero.
Zero.
Yes.
What will the velocity at center?
If the angular velocity of the wheel is omega, then omega into radius, that will be the velocity at the
Omega into
center
radius.
of the disk. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So, do you know anything about the springs, the energy?
Yes, sir.
Strain energy, etc. Okay. Define strain energy.
Strain energy.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever there is a deformation in a body under elastic region, so the energy absorbed by body under elastic region is known as strain energy.
Okay. So during this,
so one more point I would like to add. So the strain energy is because of the strain developed in the body.
Okay. Yeah. So you are saying that spring is undergoing some strain.
So spring.
Yeah. Spring will be having strain energy, then spring must undergo some strain.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in engineering mechanics, as far as I know, in engineering mechanics, we deal with rigid bodies. So if this subject is dealing with rigid bodies, so why spring is there? Because it's you just said, it is not my statement. You just said that the spring will undergo some strain, right? So if it is undergoing some strain, it is deforming, and engineering mechanics is all about non-deformable bodies. Then why we are discussing spring in that chapter?
So I think मैंने गलत सुन लिया था, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ ऑडियो थोड़ा सा अटक रहा है उसके कारण मैंने सिर्फ स्ट्रेन एनर्जी का डेफिनेशन देने का ट्राई किया था.
Okay. So spring is there. So in engineering mechanics, do we consider the spring is rigid? If you discuss this spring thing in engineering mechanics, so does it mean that spring will be must have to be rigid? Is it like that? Because engineering mechanics is all about rigid body. Am I right? So is it like that?
Sir, we don't. We study mainly about springs in machine design. In engineering mechanics.
Okay, you're not comfortable in this question.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just switch to some new topics. Okay, can you tell me that what is resilience?
Yes, sir. So resilience is the strain energy that a body absorbs under elastic region.
Okay, in elastic region. Yep. Okay, what is toughness?
Sir, so the energy absorbed by body undergoing deformation in plastic region also. So the overall energy absorbed by body.
Okay, what is modulus of toughness?
So modulus of toughness is toughness per unit volume of the material.
Okay, can you call it the strain energy density also?
No, sir. Because strain
No?
energy is defined under elastic regions only.
So you cannot define strain energy at fracture. Up to fracture,
No,
that
sir.
means.
No, sir.
So
We call it
the toughness. Yes.
we call
Yes.
it we call it energy absorbed up to fracture. That is known as toughness. So I don't think strain energy word term should be used over here, because we are dealing with plastic deformation also.
So there can be two strain energy. One will be for the elastic range, and second will be for plastic range. That's it. Elastic strain energy will be related to the elastic deformations.
If we use elastic strain energy and specify strain energy with respect to elastic and plastic, then I think it will be appropriate to call them like that.
Okay, so just assume that there is a block resting on a floor, right? Resting on a
Yes.
floor. So can you describe about the condition like impending motion?
So can you please repeat the question?
I'm saying that there is a block which is resting on a floor. Okay, it
Yes,
is
sir.
having some friction. It is a real surface. It is not a perfectly smooth surface. A regular surface is there, and the block is resting on that. So
Yes,
in
sir.
this situation, can you describe the impending motion? That when the body will start will start to move. What is the situation when the bodies will start to move?
So body will start to move if a force, if we overcome the static friction that it is experiencing. That yeah. So if you overcome the static friction, then only the body will tend to move across the floor.
What should be the value of that static friction?
Coefficient of friction into the normal force that is acting on the body because of the surface contact.
Okay, just take pen and paper and draw a diagram. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So do you want to draw FBD?
No, just draw the question. Then whatever you want. Okay, you can act like that. Okay, so there is a block resting on a floor.
Yes, sir.
The block is having a weight of 100 newtons. Okay. The coefficient of friction for the surface is 0.25.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and a force of 20 kilonewton is acting from left to right in horizontal direction. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. What is the friction force?
So for this, I'll have to know the kinematic friction. The kinetic friction of kinetic friction.
0.2. Take it 0.2.
Okay. So the friction force that will be acting is going to be 20 Newton.
Okay. Why?
So because the applied force is greater than the static friction force, so the body will start moving.
What you said?
So the force applied is 20 kilonewton.
Yes.
And the weight of the body is 100 Newton, right?
Right.
So the maximum force friction force is a static friction force, and that is static friction force upon calculation. It's going to be coming out to be 25 newtons, and the applied force is 20 kilonewton. So
20 Newton. 20 Newton. 20 Newton.
Okay. Yes, sir. So the friction force that will be acting is 20 Newton only.
Okay. Very good. Any questions, sir? Varun, sir?
Yeah. So can you please tell me why crack propagation is or brittle fracture is very dangerous?
So in case of So in case of brittle materials, there is no dislocation moment kind of propagation, and there are many pore-like dislocations in brittle materials. So if there is one crack that is tending to propagate, then there will be many pores that will align in that will support that failure to propagate, and that's why brittle materials crack very fast when one crack is generated, because there are many small vacancy defects are there, volume defect I would say.
And about stress concentration factor?
Stress concentration factor should not be high in brittle materials, should not be there.
Okay. But when the crack is formed,
yeah, then that in that region stress concentration factor will be very high.
okay. ठीक है.
Yes.
अच्छा, can you, I'll say a few proverbs maybe or idioms, कुछ मुहावरे कहूँगा, और मुझे जरा आप बता पाएंगे कि वो, since thermodynamics is your very first preference, so would you tell me that which law or which phenomenon are we talking about in that idea? It's going to be a fun. So please tell me, when we say कि अब पछताए होत क्या जब चिड़िया चुग गई खेत, so किससे relate करेंगे इसे thermodynamics में, किस phenomenon से? No?
No, Sam, just give me a little time.
Yes, please.
सर मतलब मुहावरा से तो ये समझ में आता है कि देयर इज सम डिले, लाइक जो वर्क को जिस टाइम पे करना था वो टाइम पे नहीं कर पाया, सो देयर इज डेफिनेटली अ डिले, सो वर्क unavailable energy.
Excellent. Available energy and unavailable energy. Good.
Yes, sir.
Approach is good. Now, one more will do. रहीमन धागा प्रेम का मत तोड़ो चटकाए, टूटे थे फिर ना जुड़े, जुड़े गांठ पड़ जाए. तो इसमें कौन से फिनोमिनन की बात हो रही है?
So this is related to, I'm more able to relate this to like machine design and theories of failure part.
Okay.
So अगर
please,
इसको अगर मैं, yes sir, so like अगर कोई material, if there is a material, if it fractures, if it breaks at some point, and then we try to rejoin the parts using any kind of process, so in most of the process we won't be able to reach that level of strength, that level of strength or stress, strength will be the most appropriate, so that level of strength after joining. Other than welding, if we use a material, like if we use special kind of weldings, then we can achieve greater than that, but in most of the cases it won't join to more than the previous strength.
Irreversible process की भी तो बात हो सकती है, that the process becomes irreversible, right? है ना? Exactly. Yeah. Since you talked about welding, I would like to ask why we go for TIG welding in aluminium.
So because in case of welding of aluminium, we are dealing with high temperatures, and aluminium at high temperatures is very readily forms aluminium oxide in its upper surface, and that will cause restriction towards welding, and that will cause surface properties that we don't want, and other properties will get affected. So that's why we apply tungsten inert gas welding, where we apply inert gas so that oxygen won't come in contact with aluminium during the process.
But almost every metal forms oxide layer at higher temperatures. Why
yes,
aluminium is the special case?
So because the aluminium that gets formed has properties which it has properties like its own melting temperature. Melting temperature is very high. After Al2O3 forms, it becomes more heat resistant, and it will not allow the aluminum metal in contact with the heat easily. And that's why aluminum melting efficiency will decrease because of the formation of Al2O3.
See, aluminium oxide is a problem. Okay, and if there is a problem of the mechanical strength, then in casting also, in spite of top gate, right, we are using parting line gate or bottom gate system of aluminium. So why, I mean, if it were a problem, then aluminium oxide will be formed in casting also. So why is it not a problem over there? And why, because of that only, we are switching over to TIG welding?
So I'm not able to think.
No problem. Actually, aluminium oxide has greater density than pure aluminium. So that's why what it does, because if you are using torch welding or arc welding, then the arc is high kinetic energy electrons. They will simply push it inside the pool, okay? And being heavier in density, more in density, it will stay there. And when you are using the machining process to remove the chip and all, then they will, simply break the tool again and again, right? That is known as dross formation. So in order to prevent that, aluminium is undergone with TIG welding, and in spite of top gate, we use bottom gate or parting line gates. So that's the case with aluminum. Special cases there. Acha, one more thing. I was just going through your resume. You have
Yes.
mentioned that you have an experience of data analyst,
Yes, sir.
right? So can you tell me why? There's a famous quote in the industry that data is gold. Nowadays, they are saying that data is gold. Can you please
Yes,
tell
sir.
me why this statement is currently in?
So data is nothing but a way to represent information, and the world, the world now has become so modern that data, if someone has the data and not even some money, data is much more precious than money also. Because if we have data, if we have, then we have information. If we have information, we have knowledge, and knowledge is the ultimate thing that every human being is trying to strive for. Ultimate knowledge. So data is gives us provides us knowledge, and if we have knowledge,
Okay.
we can find out anything, we can get anything in life.
Okay. There is any difference in data or information, or they are same thing?
So data is a way of representation of of information.
So basically, data is information.
Yes, sir.
You're talking like there is no
So
difference.
data is not exactly information. If we know how to use data, if we know how to study a data, then it becomes information. Otherwise, it is just like something unused.
Okay. Okay. So we can end your interview at this point. Okay. Varun sir, any questions?
Yeah, sure. No, no more.
ओके ओके वरुण सर. सो राजन, आपका इंटरव्यू यहाँ पर हम लोग एंड करते हैं, और अब हम लोग आपका फीडबैक देंगे. ठीक है, तो इंटरव्यू जैसा गया है और जो भी चीजें हम लोगों ने एक्सपीरियंस करी आपके साथ, तो एक एक करके कुछ पॉइंट्स मैं बताऊंगा और कुछ पॉइंट वरुण सर बताएंगे. ठीक है. तो स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द वेरी बेसिक्स, जैसे कि आपने इंट्रोड्यूस वगैरह अपने आप को सही किया, जिन जिन फील्ड में आपको इंटरेस्ट है, जैसे कि स्पोर्ट्स में हम लोगों ने बात किया, क्रिएटिव राइटिंग्स के बुक रीडिंग में, उनमें आपको प्रॉपर एक्सपीरियंस था, है ना, और आपको आइडिया भी था बहुत सी चीजों का, थोड़ा बहुत आपको कंफ्यूजन था, बट ठीक है, आपका ओवरऑल मतलब कहूंगा कि 99% चीजें करेक्ट थी. ठीक है. थोड़ा सा जैसे कि मेरे को ये लगा कि जैसे आप चीजें जो करते हैं, है ना, जो डेली लाइफ में हमारी जो चीजें, जैसे कि आपने वेट लिफ्टिंग करी, तो मैंने जब उसको वहां से रिलेट किया एक बीम वाले प्रॉब्लम से, तो आपको थोड़ा सा प्रोसेसिंग टाइम लगता है। तो कहीं ना कहीं एक जो आप रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल, जो सामने जो चीजें हैं हमारी, है ना, जो हम ऑब्जर्व करते हैं डेली लाइफ में, उसको इंजीनियरिंग से रिलेट करने में थोड़ा सा डिले है। मतलब आप कर लेते हो बट यू टेक टाइम, सम टाइम कम समय लगता है, लेकिन मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ज्यादा समय लगता है। तो इस चीज पे आप थोड़ा सा बेटर वर्कआउट कर सकते हो, तो उससे क्या होगा कि आपका इंटरव्यू अच्छा जाएगा, है ना, क्योंकि एकदम। और ये जो मैंने पूछा था, इट वाज वेरी ऑब्वियस थिंग, नहीं ऐसा नहीं था कि एकदम डिफिकल्ट था, कि अगर आपको थोड़ा बेसिक्स पता है, व्हाट इज ओवरहैंग बीम, है ना, और व्हाट इज सिंपल सपोर्टेड बीम, व्हाट इज कंटिन्यूअस बीम, तो आप एक बार में सही आंसर दे सकते हो। आपको पता नहीं चाहिए कि सिंपल सपोर्ट्स क्या होते हैं, तो आप आंसर दे पाते हैं। तो बेसिक्स पे थोड़ा सा वर्कआउट करेंगे तो रियल लाइफ एग्जांपल्स को जल्दी से रिलेट कर पाएंगे। प्रोजेक्ट पे आपको जीरो नॉलेज था, जो कि अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा वीक पॉइंट है। और मतलब आपने स्पेसिफिकली बताया कि आई एम नॉट, यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट, दैट वाज ऑनेस्ट आंसर, जो कि एक अच्छा एडवांटेज दे सकता है। आपने बताया कि ये वाला नहीं आता, लेकिन 2-3 और प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं आपके जो आपको आते हैं। और
सर,
लेकिन
आई वुड
मैं
लाइक टू
कहूंगा
से
कि जो भी
समथिंग।
प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, यस।
सर, वो एक्चुअली वो बीटीके प्रोजेक्ट का ऐसा ऐसा सीन हो गया कि एक्चुअली आई हैव टेकन अर्ली एग्जिट. I was a dual degree engineering student, and that was my dual degree project. And
ओके ओके
like I decided to do the early exit and take the BTech degree in my graduation time. So that's why I'm not allowed to put that project in my resume, because that is not yeah, that is not allowed. So I just got confirmed about that just 2 days ago from my professor. So that's why I couldn't prepare in there, or put some other project
ओके
over
ओके
there. Yes,
Okay, so if this wasn't completed, so you can completely retract it from your CV. Okay,
yeah.
and just take two things, that is sound-based electronic repulting device and laser cladding. So just have some basics, just some basic knowledge at least. Okay, if you are not aware of everything about these topics, these projects, so at least prepare some basics. Like you don't know even what is the full form of laser. It is actually light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. This is the full form of laser, and this is very basic. Okay, so this is like no now कमिंग टू द टेक्निकल पार्ट, आपका टेक्निकल पार्ट ठीक है, लेकिन थोड़ा सा डिलेड आंसर, आप टाइम थोड़ा सा ज्यादा लेते हो जब क्वेश्चन, जब पेपर पे आप सॉल्व करते हो। तो मुझे लगा कि आप मतलब एकदम बेसिक था। इवन जो मैंने आपको प्रॉब्लम दिया था, एक तो पहला प्रॉब्लम बताया, मैं पिक्चराइज करने में थोड़ा सा इशू जाता है, तो रियल लाइफ की चीजों को जल्दी से अपन टेक्निकल चीजों में, टेक्निकल व्यू पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से उतना जल्दी नहीं देख पाए आप, तो उसमें टाइम लगा आपको। बट उसके बाद जब आपने डायग्राम बना लिया था कि ओके सर, वो जो है वो इस तरह से ओवरहैंग बीम होगा, तो आप, अगर आपका रैंक भी अच्छा है और आप आईआईटी से ग्रेजुएट हैं आप, तो उस कंडीशन में ये बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली आया हुआ क्वेश्चन है डिफरेंट एग्जाम में। अगर आप नोटिस करेंगे तो ये वाला क्वेश्चन प्रीवियस ईयर गेट में भी आया हुआ है, सेम जो डायग्राम था, ईएस में आया हुआ है, सारे एग्जाम्स में आता है, और ये एकदम ऑब्वियस था। तो इसमें ये तो करा हुआ चीज था, तो उसमें भी आपको टाइम लगा, तो ये एक थोड़ा सा एक मेरी तरफ से नेगेटिव पॉइंट है। और बाकी हॉबीज वगैरह में आपका कोई भी दिक्कत नहीं है, आपको प्रॉपर आपके फील्ड का अच्छा नॉलेज है। जब भी आप अपने बारे में बताएंगे तो आप अच्छे से बताएंगे। और थोड़ा सा मतलब ना, मेरा सिर्फ ये ऑब्जर्वेशन रहा कि रिलेट कर पाने में चीजों को, थोड़ा सा टेक्निकल नॉलेज को एग्जिस्टिंग चीजों के साथ रिलेट कर पाने में थोड़ा सा है। तो अगर आप फंस रहे हो, तो रॉन्ग आंसर भी आपने कई बार किया। लाइक जब मैं आपसे शेल एंड ट्यूब टाइप वाला पार्ट पूछ रहा था, तो उसमें कई बार आप कंफ्यूज हो जा रहे थे, कई बार आप रॉन्ग आंसर कर रहे थे। तो जब आप कंफ्यूज हो रहे हो, तो तुरंत वहां पर सबमिट कर देना है कि नहीं, मैं सर यहाँ पर नहीं कर पाऊंगा, और देन दे विल आस्क यू नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, जो भी आपका एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है। तो ये चीज थोड़ा आपको करना चाहिए, ठीक है। बाकी और सजेशन आपको वरुण सर देंगे। वरुण सर।
Yeah, thank you, sir. So, Rajan, a few things I noticed. Okay, so I'm starting with your strengths. Your smile is good, and you should always keep that smile up. And second thing is that you are pretty much clear about everything. Okay, कि मतलब अब टेक्निकल की बात नहीं कर रहा, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑल दैट अदर चीजें, जैसे कि आप अपने लाइक मैंने आप जब आपसे बात की डेटा एनालिस्ट के आपके जॉब के बारे में, so you're quite clear about it, right? And if we would have dwelled into that further, so definitely I'm expecting that I would have got good answers from you. And रही बात next application वाले part की, तो your application is amazing. Okay, application part is very good, but I want that you should think in terms of engineering with every aspect of life, so that this delay will be, minimized to a, bare minimum extent. सो दूसरी चीज ये है कि आप डिले कर क्यों रहे हैं, उसके पीछे एक छोटा सा रीजन है, इस पर आप वर्कआउट कीजिएगा एंड प्रॉब्लम सॉर्ट आउट होने लग जाएगी. वो ये है कि
Yes, sir.
whenever you are thrown a question up, right, your mind gets disrupted, अपनी इक्विलिब्रियम स्टेट से एकदम हिल जाता है, और वो एक तरीके से ना क्वेश्चन आपके लिए वो फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट का काम कर रहे हैं. सो यू गो टू अ हायर एनर्जी स्टेट एंड यू आर थिंकिंग अबाउट द थिंग्स, एंड उसमें बहुत सारी चीजें आती है ना. तो फिल्टर लगाने का एक ही तरीका है कि वेन एवर यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर इंटरव्यूज, है ना, think whenever you're preparing for interviews 1 or 2 days ago, you should think like the interviewer, है ना, a bit like an
Yes, sir.
interviewer, कि what all questions he can ask and what all questions के answers you can give, और वो वहां से किस तरीके से जाएगा. तो एक मेंटल फ्रेमवर्क जब आपका रहेगा, तो एक हो सकता है, अभी जैसे जितने मॉक इंटरव्यूज आप देंगे, उन मॉक इंटरव्यूज में हो सकता है परफॉर्मेंस आपका उस तरीके का ना रहे जिस तरीके का आप एक्सपेक्ट करें, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, आफ्टर लाइक 10 or 20 or 15 समथिंग मॉक इंटरव्यूज, यू विल बी एक्सेलिंग, और आपको अपना पर्सनल ग्रोथ खुद दिखाई देगा. तो आप थोड़ा सा इस पे वर्क कीजिए, है ना.
Yes, sir.
और मैं आपके हॉबीज वाले जोन में गया था. आई वाज ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट कि कई बार ऐसा होता है कि अपने रेज्यूमे में कई लोग ऐसे भी डाल देते हैं चीजों चीजों को, बट आपके साथ में ऐसा नहीं है. यू हैव वेरी साउंड नॉलेज अबाउट all the things which you do. That's why I went for my Harper trophy and everything. So you are quite good at that. So keep these things up and work in this way, okay? And you'll definitely excel. So all the very best for your future endeavors from my side.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rajan, happy हो आप अपने इंटरव्यू से?
Yes, sir.
सब्जेक्ट वाइज एक दो चीज आपको मैं लास्ट में बताना चाहूंगा. जैसे कि आपने जो अपने फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट्स बोले, हीट एक्सचेंजर्स के बारे में आपको नॉलेज होगा, ऑब्वियस सी बात है, चीजें आपको पता है कि क्या है, लेकिन थोड़ा उसमें वर्क कीजिए. आपका थर्मोडाइनमिक्स वाला पार्ट मुझे अच्छा लगा, जो पावर प्लांट वाला पार्ट था उसमें आपने काफी अच्छे से आंसर किए सारे. तो मैं कहूंगा कि जब प्रेफरेंस की बात है तो सामने थोड़ा सा थर्मल वाला पार्ट ज्यादा रखे, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि थर्मोडायनामिक्स अप्लाइड थर्मोडायनामिक्स वाला पार्ट आपका अच्छा है. उसके बाद थोड़ा सा हीट मतलब एचएमटी में जा सकते हैं. हालांकि एचएमटी के क्वेश्चंस उतने डिफिकल्ट नहीं रहेंगे, थोड़े से डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन जनरली रहते हैं, है ना. बाकी एकदम रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन से पूछेगा तो वहां पर रियल लाइफ वाले चीजों में आप थोड़ा सा वीक पड़ते हो. तो प्रेफरेंस में आप अप्लाइड, उसके बाद जो इंजीनियरिंग थर्मोडायनामिक्स है उसको रखिएगा. सॉम में मुझे लगा कि सॉम में आप अच्छा कर सकते हैं, है ना. जैसे कि जनरली किसी से पूछोगे स्ट्रेस क्या होता है, तो एक नॉर्मल व्यक्ति उसका सीधा फोर्स अपॉन एरिया बोल के आंसर दे देता है, जो कि हम जानते हैं, ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि टेक्निकली करेक्ट नहीं है. तो डेफिनेशन वाइज चीजें ठीक थी, लेकिन जो डिटेल्स हैं जैसे कि टेंसर वगैरह क्या है, ये क्या है, थोड़ी सी क्लैरिटी इन थॉट जो होता है वो होना चाहिए. क्योंकि कई चीजें ऐसी हैं जो हम लोग बी लेवल पे नहीं पढ़ते हैं, है ना, लेकिन उसका वहां से क्वेश्चन बहुत आ रहा है या बहुत लोग उसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. तो बहुत से ऐसे लोग हैं जो अलग अलग बात करेंगे, किसी को उस चीज में क्लियर आइडिया नहीं. तो जस्ट ट्राई टू गेट द क्लियरेस्ट आंसर, कि जो उसका ऑब्वियस आंसर हो सकता है, उस पर थोड़ा वर्क कीजिए. सॉम मेरा मानना है कि आपका थोड़ा सा, आपका हो सकता है आपका न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट अच्छा हो, है ना, कि आप न्यूमेरिकल्स बहुत अच्छे डील करते हो जब आप देखते हो, लेकिन जब आप उसको डिस्कस करते हो तो सॉम में मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि डिस्कशन वाला पार्ट थोड़ा सा लैक कर रहा है एज कम्पेयर टू जो जितना कॉन्फिडेंट आप पावर प्लांट वगैरह में डिस्कशन वाले मोड में थे, उतना कंफर्टेबल आप सॉम में नहीं थे. क्योंकि शायद आपने जैसे कि बोला भी कि आप अगर ज्वाइन करना चाहेंगे तो पावर प्लांट एक्सेट्रा को ज्वाइन करना चाहेंगे, तो आपका एक बेसिक इंटरेस्ट वहां पर है. तो सॉम वगैरह पार्ट में डिस्कशन वाला पार्ट मेरे को लगा कि वीक है, क्योंकि रैंक तो आपका अच्छा है, कॉलेज से है, तो आई बिलीव कि आपका बिल्कुल जो न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्विंग वाला पार्ट होगा वो अच्छा होगा. डिस्कशन वाला पार्ट में थोड़ा सा मतलब जैसे कि आप नॉवेल को एज अ स्टोरी पढ़ते हैं, है ना, कुछ सारी उसकी चीजों को, उसके कैरेक्टर्स को याद रखते हैं कि इसका क्या रोल था, वैसे ही उतना इंपॉर्टेंट दे करके अगर आप सॉम को पढ़ेंगे तो एक रिलेट कर पाएंगे कि स्टोरी उसकी पूरी समझ पाएंगे कि सॉम का पूरा बैकग्राउंड क्या है ना. तो इस पे वर्कआउट कीजिएगा, ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है. और थोड़ा जो डिले आप ले रहे हो उसको बस मिनिमाइज करने का कोशिश कीजिएगा. बाकी डिले चलता है, एज फार एज योर आंसर इज करेक्ट, तो डिले एक्सेप्टेबल होता है, ठीक है. सो दिस वाज द फाइनल कंक्लूजन फॉर योर फीडबैक, एंड आई होप आप आगे बहुत अच्छा करेंगे. आप कॉन्फिडेंट रहते हो थोड़ा सा, जब आप सोचते हो ना, सो फेस पे आपके एकदम एकदम डीप थिंकिंग वाला, कंफ्यूजिंग वाला, जैसे ना ऊपर की तरफ देख के अपन सोचने लग गया, ऐसे छत की तरफ देख करके थोड़ा सा आई की ब्लिंकिंग बढ़ जाती है, अरे क्या था क्या था क्या था, लाइक यू आर स्ट्रगलिंग टू रिकॉल इट। तो वो वाले फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन पे थोड़ा सा वर्कआउट कीजिएगा, जिसको सॉफ्ट स्किल्स बोलते हैं। सोचो आराम से, लेकिन आराम से प्रॉपर जेस्चर के साथ बैठ के सोचो। ऐसा मत लगे सामने वाले को यार ये तो पूरा क्वेश्चन इसके ऊपर हावी हो रहा है। क्वेश्चन से आप उतना परेशान नहीं हो रहे थे जितना एक्सप्रेशन पे दिख रहा था। क्वेश्चन के आंसर से समझ आ रहा था कि क्वेश्चन उतना परेशान नहीं कर रहा है, लेकिन आप एफर्ट कर रहे हो ऐसा लग रहा था ज्यादा, मतलब फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन से। तो उसको थोड़ा सा अपने जेस्चर्स को कंट्रोल करेंगे तो नॉर्मली बैठो, सोचो आराम से। सोचते हम भी हैं, सब सोचते हैं। सोचना एक मतलब हमारा बेसिक हमारी एक्टिविटी है। तो जब आप सोचते हो, जब दिमाग पे जोर डालते हो, तो थोड़ा फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन नॉर्मल एक अच्छी सी हैपनिंग सी स्माइल या नॉर्मल जस्ट डल फेस रखो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं। डोंट मेक सच एक्सप्रेशन जिससे सामने को लगे कि आप बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रगल कर रहे हो, है ना। और बाकी स्माइल वगैरह से सर बोले बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट स्माइल है, तो वो अच्छी चीज है। और आई होप आपके जो जो ये सेशन हम लोगों ने किया आपके साथ, एक मॉक इंटरव्यू का, इससे आपके सारे कलीग्स हैं, जो जूनियर्स हैं, सीनियर्स भी ऑल दो, सीख रहे होंगे कि कैसे कैसे चीजों को कैरी करते हैं। तो आई होप कि आप लाइफ में इसी तरह से चीजों को अच्छी तरह से कैरी करेंगे। और हम लोग बिल्कुल आपके साथ है, गेट एकेडमी की पूरी टीम आपके साथ है। जब भी आपको लगे कि इंटरव्यू का पार्ट होने वाला है, क्योंकि देखिए अभी जिस तरह से कोविड सिचुएशन में है, तो कुछ आईआईटीज हैं, आईआईएससी हो गया, वो डायरेक्टली गेट स्कोर के थ्रू रिक्रूट कर रही है। ठीक है। अब बाकी का क्या स्टोरी है वो तो एक वन बाय वन सबका स्टोरी क्लियर होगा कि क्या सभी लोग ऐसा करें। बट पीएसयू में तो जनरली इंटरव्यू होगा। सीवी पे हम लोग बात इसलिए करते हैं क्योंकि जनरली सीवी पे आप जो चीजें लिखते हो वही चीज वहां पर बोलते भी, और सीवी हम लोगों के फाइल का पार्ट होता है। फाइल के फर्स्ट पेज में हम लोग उसको अटैच करते हैं। तो सीवी को थोड़ा सा आपका सीवी अच्छा है, ओवरऑल आपका सीवी यहाँ पर सही है। बस वो जो प्रोजेक्ट जो आपने आपका ड्रॉप हुआ था, है ना, जस्ट अर्ली आपने क्विट किया था अपना इंटीग्रेटेड पर जो कोर्स था उसको, तो उसको हटा देना। बाकी ओवरऑल मुझे सीवी सही लग रहा है। और दूसरी चीज, जब आप इंटरव्यू दोगे तो जनरली वहां सीवी आपको सबमिट नहीं करना होता है, आपको एक फॉर्म दिया जाएगा तो उसको फिल करते हैं। तो वहां जब आप वहां पर आपको एक बार और मिलेगा चांस कि आपको लग रहा है कि यार अभी इस चीज को मैं उतना रिकॉल नहीं कर सकता हूँ, मैं यहाँ पर वीक हूँ, तो उस हिसाब से आप उसको मॉडिफाई कर सकते हो, है ना। तो एट दैट टाइम जब भी आप इंटरव्यू में होगे तो एक फॉर्म भरा जाएगा जिसमें आपको पर्सनल डिटेल्स और जो भी प्रॉपर चीजें होंगी वहां पर, जो भी एंट्रीज होंगी, तो उसको वहां पर आप भरते समय थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखना, उन चीजों के बारे में लिखना जिनके बारे में आप उस समय अवेयर हो, आपको नॉलेज है। और बाकी तो सारी चीजें अच्छी है ना। तो यहाँ पर ये वीडियो हम लोग एंड करते हैं, सेशन एंड करते हैं। और जो भी इसको देख रहे हैं उनको आई होप बहुत अच्छा लगा होगा। और आपका जो एक्सपीरियंस रहा है ना, वो जो भी आपके जो कलीग्स देख रहे हैं उनको क्या बोलना चाहोगे आप, जो एक्सपीरियंस आपको मिला इस इंटरव्यू से, क्या बोलना चाहोगे उनके लिए, सजेशन क्या देना चाहोगे आप दूसरों को?
सर मुझे सबसे पहले एक आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछना था आप लोग से।
हाँ।
सर कि सर मतलब अपने टेक्निकल स्टोरी पे कैसे उसको और इम्प्रूव कैसे किया जाए, लाइक कोई भी टॉपिक अगर मुझसे पूछा जाए, सो हाउ शुड आई बी एबल ऑलवेज रेडी टू एक्सप्रेस इट, लाइक आर्टिकुलेटेड।
देखो ये जनरली तब आता है जब आप ना बहुत ज्यादा टच में रहते हो, है ना, और बहुत ज्यादा, जैसे सर ने बोला कि चीजों को इंजीनियरिंग को खोजो। तो जब वैसा रहता है ना दिमाग, तो वो ऑलरेडी हमेशा आप एक्टिव मोड में रहते हो किसी भी टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन के लिए। तो जैसे कि आपसे मैं पहले पूछ दिया स्ट्रेस क्या होता है, तो ये बहुत ही बेसिक सा क्वेश्चन है, आप उसको आंसर करें। आपसे पूछा जाए कि कैसा है वेक्टर, ये सब तो ये आप टच में हो इसके तो आएगा। तो आप जो बुक रीडिंग है वो प्रॉपर रखो, है ना। कोई अगर आप कोई सोर्स फॉलो करते हो फ्रॉम यूट्यूब लेक्चर्स और नहीं, तो उस पर थोड़ा सा बने रहो, है ना। और जब आप खुद से एक इंटरव्यूअर की तरह सोचोगे ना कि और क्या पूछ सकते हैं, जो वरुण सर ने बोला भी कि एक इंटरव्यूअर की तरह सोचो कि वो क्या पूछना चाहेगा। अगर आप इंटरव्यूअर होते तो आप क्या पूछना चाहते थे इस व्यक्ति को देख करके, है ना। ठीक है। तो बस उस तरह से थोड़ा सा सोचना चालू करोगे कि क्या पूछा जाएगा, क्योंकि गेट का एग्जाम तो है नहीं कि आपसे एक मॉडल दे दिया जाएगा, उसमें लोड लगा के कुछ पूछेगा आपसे, कुछ इन जनरल जो कि वर्बली पूछा जा सके, नॉर्मली पूछा जा सके, उस तरह से होगा। तो आप उस तरह से सोचिएगा कि क्या पूछा जा सकता है, क्या मुझे जितना मैंने पढ़ रखा है उतना सफिशिएंट है क्या। तो ये जो बोलते हैं ना कि रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग प्रोसेस जो कंटिन्यूटी में चलता रहेगा, तो आप डे बाय डे इंप्रूव होते जाओगे। वन डे का वन गो में नहीं होगा, इट विल टेक मंथ्स, बट धीरे से हो जाएगा। आपका टेक्निकल नॉलेज साउंड है, बस वो थॉट प्रोसेस धीरे से आता है। वो इसलिए क्योंकि आप प्रिपेयर नहीं होते हो कि क्या पूछा जा सकता है, यू डोंट हैव आइडिया कि किस तरह की चीजें हो सकती है। एंड आई होप जब इंटरव्यू आज आप मॉक इंटरव्यू दिए हो आज, तो आपको वो एक चीज क्लियर होगी क्योंकि इस पार्ट पे मुझे वर्क करना है। हाँ राजन, तो क्या बोलना चाहोगे अपने जूनियर्स को?
मैं आपको एक बात कहना चाहूंगा। आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा
Yes,
तो
sir.
उस पे मैं आपसे एक रिवर्ट क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगा कि फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई आस्क यू दैट टेल मी द स्टोरी ऑफ डा विंची कोड, सो यू कैन समराइज इट टू मी, राइट?
Yes, sir.
है ना? बिकॉज यू हैव बीन थ्रू द बुक डे इन एंड डे आउट, और आपने उसको बहुत ही इंटरेस्ट से पढ़ा है।
Yes, sir.
तो दूसरी चीज, ये लेवल ऑफ सीरियसनेस हम लोग और डेडिकेशन जो एक नॉवल पढ़ते हुए देख रहे हैं, वो हम लोग उसमें नहीं देख पाएंगे, वो थर्मोडायनेमिक्स की बुक में कभी आ नहीं पाएगा। बट देयर इज अ वेरी ब्यूटीफुल थिंग which you guys miss always, and that thing is review questions. अगर आप पीके नाथ की बुक उठाओगे, जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल पीके नाथ, वहाँ पे रिव्यू क्वेश्चंस होते हैं। ओके माय डियर, अब उन रिव्यू क्वेश्चंस को आप पढ़िए, उन रिव्यू क्वेश्चंस के आप आंसर कीजिए, एंड थिंक अबाउट द पॉसिबिलिटीज ऑफ दैट दोज रिव्यू क्वेश्चंस। लाइक मैंने जो 2 आइडियम्स आपसे पूछे, 2 मुहावरे पूछे, तो उससे कोरिलेशन आप कैसे बिठा पाएंगे? तो रिव्यू क्वेश्चंस जब आप करेंगे, और एक्चुअली उसके क्वेश्चंस बहुत प्यारे हैं, है ना? और उसी के बेसिस पे मैंने मैं हमेशा कहता भी हूँ कि आप क्वेश्चंस कर लीजिए, वर्क बुक भी वैसे ही तैयार होती है कि आप क्वेश्चंस आप पढ़िए और क्वेश्चंस के आंसर कीजिए, आपको थियोरी बुक उठाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। गेटिंग? सो उन क्वेश्चंस को उठाइए, जो जो आप फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट्स का नाम देने वाले हैं, हर बुक एक स्टैंडर्ड बुक के उन क्वेश्चंस को उठाइए, उन क्वेश्चंस को उठा के जस्ट स्टार्ट आंसरिंग देम, okay, in all the different ways possible. And trust me, after 10 days of time, you will phone us and thank us कि yes sir, it is creating a difference. Getting it?
Yes,
थोड़ा
sir.
सा एक सजेशन मेरी तरफ से ये और है कि अपना जो सीवी है, see when you got the muscles, you have to flaunt it, है ना?
Yes, sir.
When you have got the muscles, you should flaunt it because आपने उसके लिए मेहनत की। In the same way, when you have got the rank, you should flex it. तो उसको सीवी में मेंशन कीजिए आप, है ना? बिकॉज यू हैव वर्कड हार्ड फॉर इट, तो उसको आप वहां पे मेंशन कीजिए, और अपने सीवी को अपने पर्सपेक्टिव से मत बनाइए, क्योंकि आपकी तरह, मेरी तरह, सर की तरह हर कोई एक एविड रीडर नहीं होता। बड़ा सा पैराग्राफ आता, अपन अरे यार कौन पढ़े, यू थिंकिंग। सो थोड़ा सा उसमें चेंज ये लाइए कि मेक इट अ बिट मोर प्रेजेंटेटिव, दैट्स ऑल, एंड ट्राई दिस फॉर 10 days, द क्वेश्चन पार्ट आई टोल्ड यू, रिव्यू वाला देखना,
Yes,
उसमें
sir.
चेंज आएगा, एंड जस्ट टेल मी द रिजल्ट सो दैट हम लोग
Yes, sir.
बाकियों के साथ भी शेयर कर सकें। यू विल गेट द चेंज, डोंट वरी। या
Thank you so much, sir.
सो
या ओके, फिर सेशन यहाँ पर एंड करते हैं। ठीक है, तो बेटा आगे के लिए ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट। और सर ने भी जो आपको सीवी के रिगार्डिंग जो पॉइंट्स आपके बताए हैं, ये रैंक वगैरह को हाईलाइट करो, जैसे कि ऑब्वियस सी बात है आपने कुछ कुछ चीजें की है, बट कुछ जो चीजें हाईलाइट करने लायक है उनको और अच्छे से हाईलाइट करो, और अच्छा इंप्रूवमेंट की नीड हमेशा होती है, तो इंप्रूव हमेशा करते रहना, है ना। और आगे के लिए ऑल द बेस्ट। और अगर कोई भी नीड होगी तो गेट एकेडमी की जो टीम है, हमारी टीम एक्सट्रीम आपके लिए हमेशा अवेलेबल है। ठीक है,
Thank you so much, sir.
ओके ओके, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट, बाय बाय,
ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट, ऑल द बेस्ट,
Good day, sir.
बाय बाय, जय हिंद,
थैंक यू, जय हिंद।